Cool. So, other day, got home from a trip that I took to Bali. Anyway, I had this dream after I got back that there were these like circles, and there was nothing really distinct or detailed. They were just circles, and they were really similar, almost like they were tables, but they weren't tables. They were just kind of these circles that were hovering on over over the ground, and I was just walking between them, which was the task I was supposed to do. And so I just was walking in between these tables. It was really fuzzy, almost like unmemorable, but there were a bunch of circles, and I walked in between them. And then it shifted, and there was this other like vignette of the dream, still sleeping, but from the tables, it shifted over to where there was this living room with very modern furniture. It was like a traditional room in that, a room that you would live in, but it was recessed into the ground. So instead of building walls up and making these walls, it was just a hole in the ground. Also, it didn't have any roof. And the walls, they were, you know, in the ground. The ground was the walls. Like it was a basement, but it didn't have anything framed. Anyway, inside this recessed living room, bedroom thing in the ground, there were throw pillows and couches. And as I looked down, there were a bunch of college students that would go into this pit and they would just make out, essentially. That's what the point of that thing was. But even though that was the point of it, it wasn't used. It was abandoned. It was like this make-out pad for like co-eds that was just abandoned. Didn't have a use for anything anymore. So now what people would do is they would go into it by jumping in. You would jump in, but as soon as you jumped in, it was really hard to get out of. It wasn't like there were stairs, you know. But you could get out. If you looked hard enough, you could get out. Like, for one example, I knew if I had gone down there, if I had jumped in, I could sit on a sofa, but that's about it because there wasn't anything else down there. It was just furniture. And it was a room that needed a new purpose. Like, it needed to be given books or notepads or pens or like almost anything. Just give the place a purpose if you're going to go down there to relax. And it isn't like this whorehouse anymore. You needed to have some kind of new thing given to it. Otherwise, it's just a waste of time. If it's a building that has no purpose, it just builds nothing. So anyway, the focus of these dreams was essentially being present and focused. Where the first one, it wasn't focused and it was almost like, how would you say, almost ethereal and abstract, round things that you could walk in between. And that was the task, is to go in between them from one to the other, to this other dream where essentially it was pointing out, hey, there's this thing that was made for a purpose. It's not for that anymore. You need to redefine what this thing is for. And it's essentially for me, was about being conscious, being grounded, being present, recognizing what I feel, recognizing what I see, what do I hear, being in the moment, so that I can essentially go through and redefine what things are there for. If it isn't clear, you don't know what it was for, how can you redefine it or repurpose it? With the tables, I couldn't much do anything with that because I had no idea what the heck they were for. They were just there. In the next dream, when things came into focus, it was clear to me at least, hey, look at this thing. This is what it was for. It's not what I want to use it for, and it seems like a terrible waste of space. So what can I do with this space. It has comfortable couches and comfortable throw things, pillows and stuff in it. What could that be repurposed for? And so just looking at things in an individual's life, like for me, looking at things